can't stop the monster.
Oh God, that song is
You're
so
a
good. Like I
monster.
was telling
Okay,
Josh before that whenever like I'm doing the rewatches to take my notes, like I know I could save myself a little bit of time if I just skip the intro, and I'm like
no,
every time I
you
have to
can't.
watch it, every time I have to
You can't.
watch it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
So I
Yeah.
finally like went and looked at all the lyrics and everything just to like actually read the song and everything. I think every single bit of the meta material for this show, by which I mean the intro music, the outro, uh, uh, are all are it's all references. Like this is very much foreshadowing the I can't stop the monster. I'm losing my control.
We
Like
can't talk about
Uh,
that yet. We can't
uh,
talk about that yet.
uh.
That's the
it's
next episode.
it's all in there. It's all in there. I'm telling you, it's foreshadowing. Like
Well,
and because
yeah.
it's such good foreshadowing, and this song was written for this show in such a way like this is like part of the soundtrack. This isn't like an adaptation. Like we took this song and put it here.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna get another song for season 2.
Probably. Josh and I were
Yeah.
talking about that too, about like I'm nervous about that because like
I know.
I
Me
love
too.
this song so much. I love it so
I
much. It's
I
so good.
I would be completely fine. I would even be excited if they just left it alone.
Hmm.
Like, just give me this song at the beginning. If you want to guarantee I'll watch the intro every time and see the credits, you already got me.
Oh yeah. Maybe like make some tweaks to the animation to have like nods to whatever's going on in season 2. But yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I think
Oh,
they'll
they
they'll
will.
change the visuals, but like leave the sound alone.
mm.
No,
Also,
it's gonna be a new sound.
It
welcome
probably
to
is though.
the Mega Monster Cast. This is our actual recording part. We're live when we're recording this, so I had already introed us live, but this is our actual recording that we're going to put on YouTube. I am Nick. With me are Alex and Josh.
Hi.
And
Hello.
If you're hearing the recording, you're not gonna hear what I said earlier.
yep,
Maybe.
uh, we are going to be talking about episodes 10, 9, and 10 of Kaiju number 8 today. This show is always good. The day
So
we're
fucking
recording, like
solid.
clarification, the day we're recording is the day that the final episode of the season drops. So we will be covering the remainder of the season a couple of days after we're recording this. Like I think we're gonna try to hit that like what, Monday or Tuesday if we can. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Tuesday
Yeah.
probably, but we'll see.
Tuesday works best.
All right, cool. But yeah,
Oh,
Neither one of us has
no.
watched
So no
episode
spoilers
12 yet.
for the no, none of
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Manga reader. I'm sorry, I said manga reader.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Manga.
Fucking hell.
oh God.
I'll
Yeah.
see myself out. I'm sorry.
It's not anime. It's amune.
Okay, so
Awful.
what is so an anemone is actually pronounced how?
Oh, anime.
Yep.
See anime.
Before we even launch into this, I want to say I think this is like the most notes I've taken for Kaiju number 8 because I have 3 full pages of notes.
Hot
Oh man.
damn.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Now it's time for us to sit back and let it ride. Take us
Uh,
away, Nick.
okay.
Yeah. Ride
So our
us.
episode starts with Hoshina is research like doing some research on Kaiju number 8 because of course. Um,
I
and
love their
he's
little library.
Yep. He also talks about how he know about that number 9 is also capable of speech and is posing as a human. Um, then we get a little bit of a flashback to Kafka talking to Hoshina that is immediately set against Kafka seeing what, from an outsider's perspective, looks like just a shit ton of meteorites coming towards them. But we
It's like,
know
ah,
is
shit.
Kaiju. We know there's just
Right.
a bunch of kaiju coming in.
Right.
Oh God. No, that first like that scene where we actually get to see them coming in, that was so damn threatening. Like
I wonder,
damn
Dog
they
shows.
threatening.
don't really pay a lot of attention to telling us like the casualties, because that meteor strike had to have had some casualties.
No, it just targeted the school. Nobody's at school.
Well, no, it specifically only targeted the base. They
Yeah.
specifically mentioned that none of the kaiju landed outside of the base. They all landed in the base. That's like
So
a
I love
big
how
point for him.
this is very much like militaries exchanging blows.
Oh yeah, definitely like at this point. So I don't
This
necessarily
seems like a
think.
war.
Well, yeah, it is. And
Oh, it is a war.
based on what we get from number 10, I don't think like he's clearly in charge of the kaiju there, but I don't really see 10 as the type of person who would have planned this himself. I
Oh,
genuinely think
he seems like he's following orders or something.
yeah, I think based off of what we've seen, either he's working for 9 or he's working with 9 for someone else. Like
Yeah, he's
9,
essentially Goku in this situation.
oh
He's
yeah,
just here to fight the strongest.
oh yeah, which I love that. I love that he's like just this big brute who was sent in to be like a field commander whose entire thing is I'm here to kill whoever the strongest person is here. I don't really care about anyone else. Tell me who the strongest person is. I'm here to kill them.
I hurt him so bad with that one statement.
That is a lot of what Goku's about. Let's be real. Goku loves
That's
fighting
not
strong
what
people.
Goku is. He's not out to kill people. How dare you?
No,
How
but
dare
he's out
you
to
all?
fight.
Like you don't understand the character at all. Like you've never
No,
watched Dragon Ball. I quit the.
I
I quit.
I didn't say.
It's
I'm not
this
saying
long.
he's.
It's this long.
Yep. I'm not saying he's there to. I'm not saying Goku's like I'm gonna kill people, but I'm saying like he's very focused on having fights with the strongest people he possibly can. It's just number 10 is a monster version of that,
Yeah,
where instead of
is
just
what
wanting to
true
fight,
Goku would be.
Goku is not evil.
but Goku loves fighting strong people.
Yeah, Goku doesn't bring an army with him.
Well, yeah.
He brings Vegeta everywhere.
He brings Gohan sometimes too.
This is not an army. You know what I meant.
He's a one-man army.
Sometimes Krillin shows up.
We are in a fight.
Every now and then he brings Tien. I think that Goku sometimes forgets Yamcha exists, but occasionally Yamcha will come along with them.
Yamcha is such a big part of Dragon Ball too.
I know. It's so sad that he eventually just became like a nothing character.
Because he is nothing.
He became the joke character and then less than a joke.
Yep. Oh
Yeah,
god.
Tien got more spotlight than he did.
Well, it's because Tien's
Tien's awesome though.
yeah, like Tien
Yeah.
was a genuine like heavy hitter for most of Dragon Ball and like kind of a heavy hitter at the start of Z still.
I mean,
Like,
he gets his moments when he's like holding off Cell. He gets his moments in the Tournament of Power. I mean,
yep. And this is
a
when we
lot.
switched to just
He,
talking about Dragon Ball. No. Uh
what happened there? All right,
yep,
we're back.
Yeah, let's
yep,
just
yep.
let's just launch this back into Kaiju.
Yep. So
And what?
we also find out that all these kaiju are wyvern kaiju, and that while there's like a little bit of like difference between what their rankings are, they're all sitting in like the low to mid 6 range for
Yeah.
their
Do they refer to these as Yoju?
yeah, they're all yoju.
Okay, so they're still in the lower class of the current encounter, at least the
Yeah.
Hanju being number 10.
Well, I don't think so the way
Ten,
I don't think 10 is supposed to be the Hanju for these. I think 10 has just gone out and collected a bunch of yoju to bring with him.
Ah,
Because
okay, I'm just trying to figure out the classification scheming.
well, I
yeah,
think
because I mean he's Dai Kaiju class.
yeah,
You're
he's like,
right,
but like
but is it?
I think Honju look similar to their yoju. I think this is a case where well, they also
No,
talk about they talk about that the wyverns usually attack, they're like solitary attackers. They
they
usually
do,
come
yeah.
in like on their own, and there's maybe 12 of them that attack throughout the course of a year.
Yeah, so the coordination is novel.
Hmm. We also find out that Mina is not on base right now, which is a big fucking deal for this first episode.
Yeah, they kind of needed her.
I mean, like, it works out.
How dare you besmirch Hoshina?
Hoshina does a really good job up until a certain point, and it's not his
You know
fault. But
how useful her gun would have been in this situation?
I
He's
don't think it
got
would have
it.
been that useful in the early phases. I think if she had gotten there like maybe like 5 minutes before she did, it would have really helped. But like the early phases, those Yoju are pretty spread out, and she specifically said to be good at dealing with big kaiju, not small ones.
They're medium sized. She could have shot him out of the air.
Yeah, but I think that would have,
She has
if
such
anything,
limited ammo, and it takes such a burn on her suit.
yeah, like that's
You get
specifically
a new
brought
suit.
up. Yeah. God no. No. So no, we get the call out from Hoshina that everyone needs to basically get ready to go on the defensive because this is a fucking military assault now. And
And we're in trouble.
yeah, and that's also when he mentions that like, oh hey, it's like they're all in the base. None of them attacked outside of the base. This is clearly a coordinated assault. That's also where Kafka is the one who says like points out all the weird problems with how these kaiju are acting, and that they're acting completely against what their type would normally do. Which I like again that that Kafka is the one who brings that stuff up to them. That
Hmm.
it's not like anyone else. Like he's the one who's the expert on the way they act and how they like what their physiology is, because that comes up
Yeah,
later in the
he's a
episode too.
subject matter expert.
Which again, I think that's a really cool take on like even if he wasn't Kaiju number 8, like he still has a shit ton of use for the Defense Force. Like he is still like to,
He's filling a niche role that doesn't seem to be filled by anybody else.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
you'd think there'd be a little bit more people in this military that would know a little bit about the
yeah,
kaiju they're killing.
yeah,
They basically just brute force it. There's so little technique, and that's what like Kafka doesn't have brute force, so he's reliant on technique, and it pays off.
yep. Honestly, again,
Technique.
that's why
Technique.
I mentioned this in another episode.
Kafka lands on his left foot.
I genuinely think if it wasn't for Hoshina, Mina probably would have had him join the Defense Force as a member of like the science team instead. Like I think that's where
Is
she
that an
wanted him to
option?
be.
Because like they talk about like how many times he's applied.
Yeah, but I think like
Like wouldn't he have tried that avenue? And wouldn't they have had several opportunities to try that avenue before?
yeah, but so based on what I can kind of tell, I think he almost always failed out on the physical challenge portion. Like I
I
think they
think that's
didn't
what we
let
heard in
him.
like the second or third episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they let him get to the part where he went into the field before. I think like he just kind of fluked his way into getting into that field practice one, which is where they actually realized what his specialty was. Up until then, they probably
They should
never
have
let
had
him.
a. They really should have a science test at a lower stage in the application process.
I mean, realistically, he probably should have just applied to be a member of the science team. Like I would
That
But then
imagine
he
there's like,
couldn't stand next to Mina.
yeah, instead he would have like stood in the in the in the coordination center and told her what to do.
I mean, it's a team of. I mean, it's all about perspective.
Oh yeah. Again, like I'm I obviously like I'm happy that he's in the field because that gives us like a bunch of cool action scenes. But like again, I just love that he is so clearly the expert on how all these things work, that like he's the one that's calling out the weird way they're behaving, or in a later scene he tells them like, hey, stop attacking from the front, attack from the back because that's where they're vulnerable. They have like really durable thick skin in the front, but if you attack them from behind, it's super
Right.
thin, so they can like still maintain loft. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, we also get that cool scene where number 10 asks Hoshina if he's the strongest person at the base, and when he says yes, he attacks. That's also where we get the first time that number 8 opens his eye and the what his fortitude rating is.
You mean 10?
Oh yeah, number 10. Sorry. Goddamn. Yeah, no, we get 10 opening his eye, which that eye, so cool.
That
Oh,
glowing blue eye with the teeth around it.
Yep.
like it's wicked too, because he like it almost is like a symbol of how powered up he is. Like the more wide it is, the more he's gonna fuck you up.
Yep. And we get his fortitude ranking, which he's registered as a 8.3 die kaiju.
Have we seen anything higher than an 8?
Yeah, we Kafka's higher than an 8, and I think
Yeah,
What was his last rating? I can't remember what
Kafka
he scored.
9.8.
9.8. Okay,
Yeah, I think he's listed as the strongest kaiju that they've ever encountered.
I see.
Yep.
So the thing with these humanoid kaiju coming around, they're kind of Hoshina's class size.
Yeah. So they're exactly his class size.
So that's good
Yep. And
Yeah.
until
we,
it's not.
I mean, we
No,
get
it's very not.
a dope ass fight, and it's only when he switches up his form that it starts going against Hoshina. Up until then, it's a really
It's kind of back and forth at
yeah.
that point. Like I don't know that Hoshina really has the upper hand.
There's a few moments he does, and then number 10 adapts to try to like counter his strategy, only for Hoshina to immediately adapt to counter the adaptations.
I gotta say, this is one of the coolest action scenes that I've seen in a while in an anime. It was very well animated. Good use of budget.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
one of
and
the
it
best
does.
kaiju designs.
Oh, the kaiju design is sick as
Oh yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah. Oh my
I
gosh.
want this action figure so bad.
Uh,
The kid
dude,
in
I'm
me is
hoping. I'm
so
hoping.
excited for this.
I'm hoping it's gonna be cool. I'm keeping my radar up to see what that like when that comes out. I'm hoping for
Just
like
send
a
link.
model because I've got the Kafka model up there. I want to make a model of number 10.
Oh,
Uh,
Yeah, I need my number 8 as well.
it's so good, dude. It's so good. But while before they actually get into the fight, I want to mention that number 10 releases a battle cry, and that's when we get like the full-on assault from the rest of the wyverns that they've essentially just been kind of like they've been engaging with enemies that are engaging with them. This is the first like that battle cry is when they start going on the offensive, really.
yeah,
This
he
just
activated
this just
Order
reminds
66.
Yep, he's gonna kill a bunch
apart
of
from
kids.
apart from that, this just reminds me of like the hierarchy in like the Forgotten Realms levels of hell. It's like, the minor demons all obey the devils, and like it very much felt like, okay, there's a lot of anarchy with like the imps and everything down in the pits of hell, like with the wyverns, but like now that you've got a Dai Kaiju around, oh, okay, we'll fall in line.
Mhm.
It's very clearly coordinated here, but this didn't feel like this feels like, just the first force you'd send. Like whoever is coordinating these attacks against the military of humanity. Oh,
Yep.
oh, because number 9 is a schemer, number 10 is a brawler. Uh, they're both just agents. They're both like, the first line you send. This is
Well,
the amount of escalation is going to be insane.
not only that, but like number 9 is clearly he's a schemer, but he's also like seems like he's more suited for espionage too, with his whole
Exactly. Well,
shape-shifting.
clearly espionage. He's the
Yep.
only one that has presented disguise techniques.
And he seems markedly smarter than number 10. Like he is
He's
very smart
vastly
compared.
intelligent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 10 is smart to a point. Like he's capable of speech, he's capable of talking, but like he's
Just
And he's
like
clearly
got
Goku.
kind of a plan, but he's not like I said, a schemer.
yeah,
Like if someone to actually be a schemer or be good at espionage, you got to have a long term plan in mind, and you got to be able to follow through and execute and adapt.
yep,
And number 9 is, uh I do not. I am very worried about that individual.
yeah, yeah. He's gonna be a long-term threat. I can almost guarantee
Because
that.
yeah, probably like the series antagonist.
Mhm.
Um, because his power set is very clearly not defined.
Yeah. Whereas 10 is very defined. We actually get some definition on what 10's like during that fight with Hoshina. Specifically, his punches hit with the force of a meteorite, and
Here,
his
yeah.
skin is thicker than Kafka's.
How do you get the Everybody wants to use a measurement other than metric.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think
You can't stand to use communist units.
I think that at a certain point, like Hoshina's fighting him when he's thinking that. It's not a well, he hits with like the force of
The freight train.
like eight.
65 fridges.
Yep. No, he's gonna be like, oh, this is like it would be like if a fucking meteorite hit the ground.
That was 20,000 joules.
So yeah, we get those 2 points, which I really liked too, because it's kind of cool seeing what like his skin is thicker than Kafka's or tougher than Kafka's, because that means like he has to plan around that, which he immediately does. Because during their fight, uh, Hoshina aims for the gaps between his armor plating, like his exoskeleton has these little gaps between it, and that's where he starts attacking. Uh,
Just
bef-
like an actual knight. You just go right between the plates
yep.
to go for the
Yeah.
soft bits.
Um, during Hoshina's fight, we see what the other members of the defense force are doing. Where
Well, we get some glamour shots at Kikaru that
oh yeah,
are fucking sick as shit.
yep, the fucking
Yes.
axe, the new axe that she
It
gets.
doesn't fit my personality, and everybody else on the team is like, yeah, it does, bitch.
Bullshit.
Yep, yep. Uh, I love like she just comes sprinting in at like this insane
Like
speed
fucking
and then
Sonic.
swings. Yep, which
The
I
overhead slash shot where she's just, oh,
yep.
Sonic
it's
Wave.
well
It's so
played.
good. It's so good. I also love so again, I like to bring up that this show likes to have parallels between characters, and this
Yeah.
is a point that they parallel with Kafka later on in the episode. Or if not this episode, the next. I need to double check my notes, but yeah, like they do a really good job of paralleling Kafka with usually Kikuru or Hoshina. But yeah, she comes in, she's got this new axe. We get a flashback to how she got her axe, which is that essentially Mina and Hoshina pull her aside and are like, "Hey, so we have this cool new prototype axe. It was made out of the kaiju that attacked 2 years ago, um, and it makes shock waves." And she's like, "Well, why would you give this to me?" Well, normally we would only give these special weapons to people who are like ranked, but
It would
yeah,
be unfortunate to not give the third most powerful person on base a weapon.
yeah, you're already using over 50% of your suit. Uh, there's a lot of shit that's hitting the fan right now, so we're just gonna give you this axe.
Considering like you've used signs in the past as an axe, it
Oh
fits.
god, yeah. No, it works
The
so well.
foreshadowing.
Yep.
The foreshadowing.
Again, this show does such a good job of like setting up foreshadowing and setting up parallels between characters. I
But
also wrote,
it doesn't feel unearned or ham fisted.
yep.
No.
It also does a really good job of like it pairs up the rival characters, so they're usually working together. Like when we see
Yes.
Ichikawa working at the start of this, like when we first see him working in this episode, he's paired up with Iharu. Aoi and Izuma, I think it's either
Yep.
Izuma or Izumo.
I think Izumo.
Izumo? Okay. They are paired up too. So like we get the rivals usually working together, at least at the start of a scene with them, which I really enjoy. But we also
That's
get
kind of a theme that I like about the whole series. It doesn't play the same cards that you'll see from like classic animes where everything is a conflict, everything is strife. Your
mhm,
friends aren't your friends. We've got rivalries coming out the woodwork. Like I actually really appreciate the camaraderie love that's shown in
oh
this
yeah,
series.
Yeah, well, we
super
get enough
super
drama with just Kafka, so.
Yeah, he's enough.
Yep. Uh, we also get that thing that I know you love, Alex, where she already has 3 named techniques with the
Yes, yeah.
axe.
It took 0 seconds to get
Well,
there, and she's
I think
got
it was in
named.
the manual to use the weapon.
Yeah, the weapon comes
You
with
must
here are
you
your
must
techniques.
shout Sonic Blast.
Yep. Uh, I love the way she uses this too, where the first technique she uses, she brings her axe behind her. So the axe works like there's a trigger on it, and when you pull the trigger, the blade releases a sonic blast.
Fucking
But
gun
you
it.
can control which direction it releases it.
Mhm. So she holds the axe behind her like this while she's in the air, releases it, and it launches her forward.
And then
And
she
that's
has
her
a
first
little bit
technique.
of a struggle, like,
Yep,
boom.
yep. We also get so her first technique is that. Uh, Her second technique is she uses a frontal shockwave to hit the enemy. And her third technique is I think
Is the
she
one that
uses
goes
the
through,
wa-
right?
I think she uses like the third technique is she pulls the trigger as she's like slashing to blow it apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it
The
like blows
mist
the back
technique.
out instead
yep,
of hitting the front. I
yep,
thought that was a uh, really cool
Fucking
technique.
yep.
used to haul around.
Oh no, it's great. Also Ichikawa is still using his freeze rounds, which I love. Like that's just become like his signature because when you see, oh, freeze rounds, well, Ichikawa's probably doing that.
He's probably around here somewhere.
Yep.
He's the Iceman.
And we get that Aoi and Izumo are they know that Ichikawa and Kikuru are fighting, so their plan is that they're gonna let those two draw attention, and they're gonna like swing around behind and fire behind. So we get like some strategy going on with the team too, where they know who's gonna really be drawing attention, and they're going to base their strategies off of, well, if Kikuru's out there and she's attacking, all of the kaiju are going to start focusing on her. So we're going to start like sweeping around, flanking, and attacking.
Yeah, use him as bait.
Yep, basically, yeah. But it works. Hey, she's over 50% of her suit. She can
Yeah,
afford to be the bait.
if anyone could.
hmm we also get a super Goku-y moment from number 10 because number 10 is thoroughly enjoying himself during this fight. Like it's clear he's having a real good time.
Also, he's a fucking dick at this point too.
Yep.
Because when they're backing up into the fighting grounds, he's like, "Open the doors! Open the doors!"
Oh my god, the
The
door
door,
Yep.
door's just like clearly open. He's like, "Nah, fuck the door."
Yep.
slams into
Destroyed it.
it all Spider-Man style. He's like, "Do you know how expensive that door is?"
Oh, I loved that too. I loved that. I also love that. So Hoshina points out that like number 10 should not be enjoying this, not because like
It's an
it's fun.
emotion that kaiju
Yeah,
should not have, is what
Yeah.
I wrote down.
Yeah. I loved that little bit too because again that shows that these kaiju are way different than what the norm is.
huh. It's like they're a little human.
Yep. And we also find out that Hoshina drew number 10 to the training grounds specifically because he didn't want other members of the defense force to get caught up in their fight.
Because he
So
wants to
noble.
go all out.
Yep. Again, little moment for Hoshina that I like because immediately it sets up he knows first of all, how dangerous number 10 is, but he also kind of knows how dangerous he can be. So the less people that are around during that fight, the better. After that, we get the scene that I think parallels the Kikoru scene, where Kafka runs in to try to save Minase, and he does his partial transformation that he's been working on throughout the course of being a kaiju. Like before, he couldn't control it, and he would just partial transform all the time. Now he's like choosing to transform his legs so he can run in faster. Which
Yeah,
also,
selective power use. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, he gets called out here, and it's hilarious.
yep. Oh yeah, no, like,
Oh, you finally got attuned to your suit, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Which I love that they pay that off in the next episode. Like, there's a lot of setup and payoff and a lot of paralleling. Uh, and then Kikoru and Ichikawa come in to save them. And it basically boils down to now Minase and Kafka are in charge of evacuating the people that are injured while they take on the kaiju,
Right.
which makes sense. I don't think we've had a whole lot of development for Minase as a character. In fact, I think this is the first time we know like what her name is, right?
It was the first time I remembered seeing it.
I was gonna say, this is the first time I remember seeing her at all.
I think we
Yeah,
see her.
is she a member of our platoon, or is she one of the
She's one of
other?
ours.
I
She's one
think
of ours.
I think we see her in scenes. I think she's one of Kikoru's friends. I think it's her and the tall girl with the blue hair.
The
I think.
Sand?
Yep. Yeah, I think those
Telling you she's
three
the
are
Sand.
like the girlfriend group. But yeah,
I want to know their story. Let's go.
honestly,
More
And then we
character
get,
development.
oh
More
god, the fact
characters.
that they send in paragliders or paratroopers
that's such a
with
bad
flying
idea.
wyverns.
Yeah, it's such a bad idea. I
What
mean,
the
I
fuck?
love
No,
reinforcements coming in, but that's such a bad idea.
it's fine.
No.
Fine.
Have you seen Rain of Fire? It's a bad
Yeah.
idea.
Also, that's a hell of a movie.
It is.
That was on TV the other day when I was at the gym.
It's a big sleeper movie. People forget about it. That
Yeah,
set
it's
the
a
stage
solid.
for a lot of for a lot of other movies too, and it had a hell of a cast.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yep. We get
we'll watch that on our Patreon.
sure. Yep. Yep.
That's a Mega
It's
Monster
tech-
movie.
I
I
mean,
was gonna say technically it's a kaiju.
I'm
It's a
not
kaiju
against
movie.
it. I'm not against it. We can put that
I
on the
haven't watched it
list.
in like 10 years, so like
Yep.
it'd be about time.
Who doesn't want to see Matthew McConaughey get eaten?
All right. Yep.
How dare you?
We also get.
How
I know
dare-
Josh loves this scene. We get the dick joke.
Yes.
Wait, there's a dick
Yes.
joke?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Where was
Josh.
the dick joke? Do I remember this? Go ahead.
It's when he's slicing and dicing and he exposes his core. It's like, huh, got a tiny core there, compensating.
Oh, he does say
Yep,
that, doesn't
yep,
he?
yep. It's so good.
I lost my shit.
I did not catch that. That's
Yep.
fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's so good.
That is hilarious.
Yep. And then
I just hate that. I hate that every 2 words out of Hoshina's mouth is the word slasher. It gets a little annoying.
well, that's because he's using his
The manual
family techniques.
says so.
You could have used different words. Like I mean, it's like everything for Raditz is a weekday. You know, like
that's because it's in the
Sunday,
manual.
You know, it's not in the manual.
Yeah. It's in the manual
not-
from hundreds of years ago.
You're saying
Yeah.
that this kaiju weapon is voice activated,
Yes, 100%.
even though we know that there's a trigger.
No, the
Well-
trigger sets up the voice command.
That's how you turn on this. Hey Siri.
It's the speaker.
Yep. So then we get
For every Apple user out there, I'm sorry.
so we get the
Mine's broken. It doesn't matter.
we get number 10 transforming. Uh,
Oh, did he transform this early in
yeah,
the?
he transforms at the
Yep.
well. We're at the end of the episode for number 9 now. Episode number 9 ends with him
No.
transforming.
Oh, I
Yeah,
will
after
say
he gets his head nearly cut off, it's just
Yeah.
like
before he
dangling.
before he transforms, Hoshina does one of the coolest flex moves on him and just like down and like makes his arm into like several slices.
Yep.
It's fucking cool.
Honestly,
Because he's slashing.
every scene
It's
with
I'm fine with them being slasher. It doesn't have to be like every move. It could be you could, there's a thing called a thesaurus.
yeah, but I mean, like, are you gonna tell him that he needs to go tell his family to change the names of their techniques?
Yeah. Are you gonna say
This is a
there and say
parent thing. Are you gonna
eight
tell?
way hack and slasher?
I I am gonna let him do him. I'm just giving narrative points
Yeah,
that
that's fair.
maybe it would be easier to say if you use different words instead of getting tongue. I'm just saying you're making life harder on you, really.
Yeah.
And what would you call a slasher move?
Cutter, dicer,
No, see, but you have to
slap
Took
end
shot.
it with slasher.
took zero effort to come up with two other alternatives.
It's cutter slasher, okay?
Yep.
That's
Dicer slasher.
why you got to make things rough?
Because
This
that's
is why we
how you
gotta
act. That's how you activate.
maybe
It's in the manual.
maybe we shouldn't have nice things.
So we also get
Sure, everything down behind.
number 10 transforms. We get this big form. There's mouths all over him that are releasing steam, and we get song playing that is very similar but distinct from the Godzilla song.
Yes.
I mean, he done got pretty big though.
Yep. And we get his new fortitude level. He's gone up to a 9.0.
What a bish.
Yep. Still below Kafka, but it's fucking he got a power up.
And we also get Kafka like sensing this power up.
Yep.
Wish he
I
used that. I wish he used that flick more than once though. I thought that was super cool.
mhm.
I don't think he uses that again throughout the whole battle.
No, I don't think so. He
I
uses a
thought that
bunch
was
of weird things though.
I thought that yeah, like he doesn't repeat a lot of techniques. So like the amount of effort that went into animating and designing this kaiju, like oh these writers, I'm really into this show.
Oh yeah.
But man, I think that in contrast to number 9, who repeatedly used the boil gun,
hmm
uh, I really liked the flick. I thought the flick was so much more like dismissive and like the fact that it was more of like a force thing as opposed to like is he firing substance out of his fingers like
I don't like the fact that he
Yep.
called it a boil gun.
It honestly,
it
I
is a
love
boil
that.
gun.
I love it. That's a great
So
name.
It's gross.
That's such a good name. I love it.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. We're coining it. It's a boil gun.
Yep. He's using a boil gun. His fingers turn into
Finger
a boil.
he goes finger technique, boil gun.
Boil gun.
God.
Boil slasher.
It's so gross sounding, but that works for him.
It does work for him too. It
Boils.
does fit the aesthetic of that mushroom head fuck.
Yep. Uh, so let's talk about episode 10 now. Episode 10
All
starts with
right.
recap, like every episode.
I don't know. We don't get. Sometimes we get cold opens.
Sometimes, but I think most of the time we get at least like a little bit of a recap. Maybe it's like flashbacky with like some new stuff thrown in, but like this is straight up like a good chunk of it is just recap of what happened in the last episode.
Yeah. We get a scene where the Supreme Kai of Time is very concerned for Hoshina.
True. You did figure out that was the voice.
She's no
Another
longer
reason-
Okanagi. She's no
Just
longer
another
Okanagi.
reason to play Xenoverse more.
I need to sit down and play that some more, yeah. But no,
Come on, man. There's room for another.
I'd be down to play.
Hey,
Uh,
come on.
Yeah. No, so we
You
get
did just get Super Saiyan God recently, so let's go.
so we get that number 10 is now a giant class, which means that it is outside of Hoshina's expertise area, that it's too big for him to take on his own now.
If only he had a longer blade, he'd be okay.
I mean, there is some credence to that. I mean, like,
He says like, "Oh, I can no longer cut through him now. He's too big."
Mhm.
yeah, I wish that Hoshina had like one of those. I can't remember which video game it is, but like, there's a. I want to say it's like Dynasty Warriors or something where this character has a
The
katana.
Masame,
Say again.
the Masamine, the
Possibly,
giant.
it's a katana that's like 3 times the length of how tall the character is.
Yeah, the Sephiroth sword.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds about right.
basically a
Yeah,
Sephiroth
It's
sword. Exactly.
yeah, it's the Masamine.
I
Or
would just want I just want him to have like this is where I wanted him to pull like a Darth Maul and just like put the swords together or in some way that made them longer. I don't know. Like it's kaiju tech. It could do anything. I don't know. I don't know the limitations of this.
fair.
duct tape it.
Yeah, kaiju tape. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's just
Why
fucking
is that
scotch.
not a thing? Like we got duct tape, gorilla tape. We need kaiju tape now.
I bet that
We got T-Rex tape.
I bet that
Come on,
exists in that universe. I bet it does. Let's be real.
it's got to.
Yep.
It's
I'm
just
gonna I'm gonna write a handwritten letter to the
it's
writer.
got to be produced
Not
by
an email.
the slap chop guy.
Yeah.
You're gonna love my tape.
You're gonna love my tape.
So Hoshina, my next note is Hoshina is jumping around and shit.
I mean, what else is
Yeah, he
new?
gets
That's
Yep.
Fortnite.
fucking rocked.
Oh god, yeah. No, this is
You know.
where it's clear he can't like take on this kaiju on his own anymore.
No, this has gone from an actual battle to like now I'm distracting it.
And he gets knocked back in the most disrespectful way. Climbing up the building just to stab him in the back and just a bunch of eyes and then backhands him through 5 buildings.
Again, I love that moment where all the eyes open up on his back.
The eyes were
Ugh.
bullshit.
It was so
The-
cool though. Just that moment of
It
like,
was cool, but fucking bullshit. Also, the kamikaze wyverns, so not cool.
but it totally fits that
s-
character in my opinion. Like this is the
Oh, it
point.
does. Like this is he was. This is. I think this bolsters the idea that this is a like. Even though we're considering number 10 a Daikaiju, he's literally nothing. He's below nothing. He's being sent on a suicide mission.
Yep.
Like we don't expect you like do whatever you want, but like his motivations of absolute destruction at all costs with all collateral damage on the table. No, man. Whoever is above in this organization of kaiju, far more dangerous.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
which makes me think that number 9 is probably far more dangerous too.
I would put money on that. Yeah.
yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
especially considering like again,
Shut up, manga reader.
like number 9 is clearly has a much more. So if I had to like number 10 is a hammer and number 9 is a scalpel.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh,
analogy.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll take you there. I mean, like there I'll even go so far as to say that I think there might even be more distance between those two tools.
Yeah.
Because I think that number 9 is far more sinister than just being a scalpel. I'm very eager to see this character, and I also am very eager to see how many times he can make me laugh by being just a complete prick.
Yep.
Is that my torso?
God, I love that. I will remember that for a while.
Yeah. So will
Uh,
I.
but yeah, Hoshina's suit overheats. He's hit his
Oh,
limit. He's been
no.
using it like his full 92% release for 10 minutes, and he's hit the limit where like he cannot keep doing that. And at
I
most, he's
wonder
got like 1 minute left.
because it clearly damages your body
Oh yeah,
by overheating. So I wonder if it's all like I'll push past my limits.
I think so. Again, he
I'm
says
burning.
that at most he can do like 1 more minute at his full release.
I wonder if it's like if the people who can only achieve 20% have to rest after a while too.
Mhm.
I think
I
so.
think, yeah, I think it just depends on what your body's capable of.
Gotta be.
Um, Oh god, and then he just gets his shit wrecked. And the sensors say that he needs immediate medical assistance.
We do get
Not
a good
good.
little backstory with him,
Oh
though.
yeah. No, I like the backstory for him. Because we find out that as a kid, his dad talks with him about how, like, you're a great blade master. Back in the day, you would have been like this prodigy, this chosen one. You're not right for the defense force anymore. And like we get like a snippet here and then a snippet later, but I'm just gonna treat it as one thing where we
Yeah,
find out that like the reason why is so like kaiju in recent years, it says specifically, have been shifting more towards giant kaiju. Up until then, they were probably smaller ones that were suited more for his swordsmanship style. But at this point, you need like firearms to take on kaiju, and he
yeah,
has.
Big
and
fuck off guns.
Yep,
yeah,
and
you
he.
can't yell slasher with a gun.
Yep.
Are you
Well,
kidding?
I mean, you still can. It's
What do
just
you think?
weird.
What do you think Dead Space was?
That wasn't a gun. That was an instrument and a tool.
Yes. But yeah,
Mining tools.
we also get the reveal that Hoshina has really poor uh combat skills when it comes to guns, that he has like virtually no aptitude for them. They don't work well for him. When he's using them in combat, it just doesn't work. He's only good at using swords, which I like that little
Blade
touch.
expert. Like
Yeah, like he's an
you
amazing
use your
swordsman.
strength.
He's an amazing swordsman, but like they go out of their way of saying he has no aptitude for guns, like, which leads me to believe like maybe even if you hand him a pistol, he's not going to be able to do like much damage even with his 92%. Like maybe it just doesn't work for him.
Kafka levels of aptitude.
Yep. And during the flashback, which again I'm just treating this all as one scene, there's stuff in between it, but like we find out that the reason why he's on the defense force and like the reason why he's in his position and he's respected is because Mina specifically wanted him to be a member of the third division
You
because she
saw
needed it
part
as.
of the team that needed a blade specialist.
Yep. Well, and like she is so specialized on like long range combat that she needed somebody who could get in close too. Which I like that. I like that she basically picked him to complement her style. So they had two people that were really, really good at those two styles.
So after the flashback, we get him getting his ass kicked some more,
Hmm.
and then we get the near coup de grace and the Deus Ex Mina.
Yep. I do love that. I love that she comes in and basically just, well, time to save everybody.
Because you know what she did? She also pulled a Goku and just sat back and watched while Vegeta had to fight a giant cat god.
Yep.
Was I right in this moment where she actually uses the tiger as a backstop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
So there was something that I noticed in this episode for the first time. Did you pay attention to the tiger's eyes?
I can't say particularly no.
Okay, so this
Oh.
time I was actually looking at I was looking at Baco the tiger. Um, his eyes are weird. Specifically, he doesn't the sclera, the white parts of his eyes aren't white, they're black.
That's
He
interesting.
has he has the same eyes as Kafka's kaiju form.
Hmm.
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 Such implications.
Yep. Because I was looking at it, I was like, huh, that's weird. Like his eyes just kind of like fade into his face, and then I noticed like, wait, no, they fade into his face because the white parts are just black.
Nah, it's a perfectly normal tiger.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I mean, also like the way that it destroys rubble as it's falling, like there's something up about this tiger. That's all I'm
Ha-
saying.
have you never thrown a rock at like a cat and watched it destroy it as it does a backflip?
You mean like made out of concrete and destroying it midair instead of like knocking it down? Yeah, absolutely. That's just a normal that's a normal cat thing.
Yeah.
The whole time we're just not talking about the tiger.
Yep.
There
Yeah.
are other things here.
Don't throw rocks or concrete at cats, kids.
Yeah, don't do that.
It seems like bad advice.
we
I'm
have,
not gonna
but no, that's good advice.
I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, but you're
No,
probably
the
gonna get in
original.
trouble for that.
Oh,
Uh, so let's see. I also wrote down that even though Hoshina's like his suit is overheating, he still gets to 93% to act as support. Not 93, 63% to act as support.
He's not done fighting yet.
No.
he'd
Uh,
rather die than quit.
and that he and
Give
Kikoru
my life for the
team up.
defense force.
So he and Kikoru team up to like they can't neither one of them can get through number 10's exoskeleton on their own. But
I could weaken it.
yep, so
And then you smash.
yep, so Hoshina like basically scores the outside and then Kikoru slams into it to break the plating so Mina has a clear shot.
I like that consistently throughout this series, a theme of teamwork continues to show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, that'll
really good.
continue.
We
Let's
get
see.
as the battle continues on, we get the full Super Saiyan Mina mode.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty epic.
Oh god, that was so good.
That fucking charge.
Combat power 96%.
Combat power 98%. Can't get to 100.
So I love
So
when
real.
she actually hits his core and he just
Oh,
bursts apart.
Blows up.
I will say I'm looking at the episode now. They actually do after number 10 goes down. They say the Honju is down.
Ah, okay. So he is considered the Honju. I must have missed
So
that
I
part.
think that Honju and Yoju are like encounter level classifications.
So like maybe boss versus underlings.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, like in this encounter, the Honju is, the
Okay.
boss is, the underlings are.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's kind of how I'm reading it so far because they refer to the big bad of the encounter as Honjus, not like Honju's the name, but like I
Well,
said, I think it's an encounter level
Okay,
classification.
the
makes sense.
Honju's basically the class. Like they're typically the larger or stronger Kaiju
Hmm.
versus the Honjus that are the smaller, weaker ones.
Okay. Uh,
That's the definition that I looked up.
so one second, I'm gonna step away from my computer, but you guys can still hear me. So we get
Dead ass.
yeah, I'm all sweaty because I did leg day today.
Oh man,
Gross.
Yep. But no, so
I think it's back day for me.
we did we get a
Back day, huh?
we
Yeah,
get
you should
where a
try
normal
striking me a little bit.
episode of an anime would end here. Where like they've taken care of the threat. They're
So mean.
yep.
Sorry.
That's fucking funny though.
We get that point where they've taken care of the threat. Everyone's trying to like bounce back and recover. They're like coming together as a unit at the end of this like horrific attack. But this isn't your normal anime right now. And instead, there's a new threat because all the wyverns that are left in a brilliant setup and payoff because as Alex mentioned, number 10 has been launching these wyverns now as like suicide bombers.
Yep.
All the wyverns fly up into the sky and start amassing together to create this giant kaiju bomb to take out the base as like one final.
Base, it's like a 10 square like mile
Well, I
they're
mean,
gonna take out.
I think this is just a case of I really need to make sure this base is gone, so we're gonna take out as much shit as possible.
Yeah, this is something that you would call a draw.
Oh, I love that moment where number 10's like, well,
Yeah.
you killed me, but I'm gonna kill literally everyone else here, so we'll call this a draw.
I had this planned all along. I'm not actually that upset about it.
Yeah, I kind of assumed I was gonna die at some point. I am an
Oh
asshole who only thinks about fighting.
man, and then we get this like flash across the screen, and then what's this? Kafka
Yep.
unleashing the power of his suit.
You
Yep.
idiot!
And I love that Hoshino is like, wait, how the fuck is he running this fast? Like
How the
that's what
fuck is
he
he doing
notices.
these jumps?
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he's like, oh god, that's not 1% power. Like, I knew there was something weird about you, but I really liked you, man, and I wanted to believe you were a normal person, but like, this isn't normal. You can't do that with your shitty percentage level. Like, something's going on here.
I love the facial animation they did for Hashino. Like he is so goddamn shocked.
Yeah, his
The
eye expression is on point.
the
Yep.
pulsating that they do.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's so good. Like,
Ugh.
you can tell a lot was put into like from the point Kafka starts running onward, like there's a lot of budget in this. Because we get Kafka transforming, like completely transforming in front of everyone because he plans on going up there, punching the bomb as high up as he can, so it's a like so he can clear it and the explosion won't destroy the base and everything around the base. Oh god, that rocket punch was so good too.
Dude.
so many rockets.
Hmm. All of his limbs just sprouting rockets so he can fly up and punch it. And you can see like as he's running up, Ichikawa's freaking out because like, no, this isn't like you can't do this. You can't transform in front of everyone. And Kafka, as he's preparing to punch it, he just had like he is thinking over like apologizing to everybody. Like, it's so good. Do you
It's
guys think
fucking
that?
great when he
I was gonna say,
what?
do you think Kafka thought he was gonna die?
100%. Like
I
he
yeah.
knew the defense force was going to do something at this moment.
Mhm.
But I love the fact when he actually gets up there and punches it, and he has his kaiju eye, and then his bloodshot normal eye
Yep.
before the mask actually even starts to shatter.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
it's got imagery for both Venom and Darth Vader.
it's very well done. Like this scene is so good. You can tell a lot of money went to this. Like
Well,
god
and then
damn.
even as far as he launches it forward, it still decimates the base.
Yep.
But at least people survived
Yep.
He does save two more.
just by standing there looking cool.
Cool guys do look at, at explosions as long as they block them at the same time.
I mean, if you can punch a bomb the size of a building into the atmosphere, you can absolutely look at it if you want to. You can do whatever the fuck you want after that. Except not really, because then Mina, who is very upset by this, comes up, pulls out a pistol,
What
like
are you gonna do with that?
yeah,
What are you gonna do with that pistol?
all these
Well, it
other
does.
defense force members pull out their rifles and they're like, "All right, we got to take you in."
But this scene does such a good job showing his like humanity.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, he's a monster, but it's just that like the tear, the face
God, yeah, no,
makes me sad.
this was a great episode. Like the way this ends is so good. Like it's such a tough moment to
I
get like
can't believe they pulled the rug out in the first season.
I thought it was
I
gonna happen
cannot
at some point.
believe it.
I was hoping it was gonna happen this season. I really was.
No.
I was because then that sets up
No.
because then they have to have a different dynamic for season 2, and I'm curious what that's gonna be.
I thought they
Yeah.
would have got settled and then pulled it out in season 2.
Oh no, see,
No.
I think having it because at this point it was settled up until this moment. So now they're upturning things, and now we're gonna get a new status quo for season 2, which I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm in for it.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Gosh, yeah, no, this was
No,
damn
it couldn't.
good. So high point, low points of these 2 seasons. Not seasons, these 2 episodes. Jeez, if we had 2 seasons, I'd fucking eat this shit up right now. No, high point, low point of these 2 episodes.
But it's
Uh,
hard. Again, it's hard to find a fucking low point.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I know, right? I think my high point would be the battle with 10. Um, just great fun action. Um,
Honestly, my high point is literally the final scene of of episode 10.
The
Like
guns
the
being
first
pulled on him.
yeah, the first time I watched it I was speechless. I was just like jaw agape, like what?
Yeah. I think my high point is it's got to for me it's Kafka apologizing to everyone in his head right before he does his rocket punch. Like all of this is great, but like that moment of like I know I'm messing this up for everybody, but this is what I have to do to keep everyone alive. Like it was so good. Like again, there's so many high points across these 2 episodes though. Like god damn, this is a really really good two-parter.
okay,
You know
what's
what?
your low point then?
I found the low point,
Okay.
and it's with 10. Why the fuck did you destroy that door?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
unnecessary.
For the lulls.
I mean, okay, so I have like a low point, but it's not like a low point. It's just like a, it's the low point of 2 amazing high point episodes, which is like the little moments with Minase, and even then they're not bad. It's just like the lowest point I can find.
Yeah, I give you that one.
But yeah, no, like it's like the fact that points that I still think are good are the low points. Again, just solid episodes.
Yeah, I got nothing. I think maybe my least favorite part. I don't even know. I'm abandoning the idea of a low point,
Mhm.
but I would say that my least favorite part was the whole like um you can't do this because you're a sword guy. I'm like, I get it.
Mhm.
But it's
But I don't
character
even care. Like
development.
I needed that establishment. I like the idea that it's like, well, I'll make my own way. Like I love
Yeah.
the message of that. I
Oh yeah.
absolutely love it. But there's like, I didn't need him to have family trauma.
Yeah. But
But
again,
okay, I don't give a
I
shit. I love this. I. Other than that, I got nothing.
well again, I think it really says stuff that like all 3 of our low points are still points that we liked.
Yeah, I think he needed that for his character development. But it was just maybe the part of the episode where I was like, yeah, he's got family issues. He's no one believes in him, except for Mina. Okay, great, I love it.
Yep.
I needed to see this,
All right. So,
but it's like the least interesting part of the episode.
yeah. So I think with that we are going to wrap up our recording for this episode. We will cover the last 2 episodes of the season and maybe do like a little bit of a season recap next time.
Don't stick around for the tier listing. It's all just gonna be S.
Oh god, yeah, no, this is an amazing
I can't point to
season.
a single episode that was worse than another.
This is an amazing season. It really is. Like even like the episodes that don't have a whole lot of action, like I think was it episode
Yeah, I think it was last episode we recorded had a lot of character dev.
yeah, like genuinely there's so much good and like the fact that action light episodes are still considered like really really strong episodes.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'll judge it kind of from uh, a 1,000 feet level.
Mhm.
I
I see what
would
you did
come
there.
back to this season and not skip any episodes.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a lot of content that I would happily watch the season again, but minus a few episodes that I didn't care about.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Like this does a really good job of every episode is
Babies.
good and feels important.
I'm sorry, I said space babies.
That was a weak episode. I watched that
I
too.
would-
That was a rough start.
I would skip the entire fucking season of that.
I still like the Devil's Court.
I thought the second
God.
episode of that season was okay.
Yeah, the
I need
second
to
episode
catch
is
up. I'm doing that. I'm doing that later today. I'm gonna start watching the rest of the season because I only watched the first 2 episodes of that.
Well, you can watch episode 2 and episode
8.
9,
No, I think it was 8.
8.
Yeah, because the finale was a 2-parter.
Well, was it 12 episodes or 11
I
episodes?
thought it was 10.
Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
yep,
Different podcast, everybody.
Yep. Tune in next time. They're
Don't watch
obviously
it.
plugging their other podcast, Gallifrey and Gatherings.
No, don't watch it. That season fucking sucked.
Yeah, watch our reviews before you decide to watch anything.
Yep. So with that, tune in next time when we talk about the last 2 episodes of this season. After that, we are going to be starting our next
Buckle up,
anime.
everybody. Buckle up.
After that, we're starting our next anime. We are going to be doing recaps on Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man!
I'm hoping that's as good as y'all say it is. Cause
It's really solid. Don't expect it to be the same type of show as this, but it's a really
No.
fun ride. Anyway, tune in next time.